When Laura Barb started her own business doing housekeeping work and repairing drywall, she made good money, but spent most of it in bars.
I was a 7-day-a-week bar fly. Had to go to the bar every day for happy hour. I spent probably at least $400, probably a week.
So Laura often used credit cards for bills and living expenses. Eventually, she was strapped with $20,000 of credit card debt, a car payment, and her mortgage.
I just all of a sudden felt this overwhelming sadness. And I knew it was God. And he was asking me, what are you doing? You know, why are you living like this with the life that I gave you?
Laura gave her life to Christ. Instead of hanging out in bars and having a drink, she started going to church and reading the Bible. As she grew in her relationship with God, she also discovered the biblical principle of giving.
What you sow, you shall reap. And I believed it. It was a promise from God.
Laura committed to tithe faithfully, but that would be put to the test. Her roommate moved out, and that left her to pay all the bills.
There was a couple of times where my mortgage was due, but I also had to tithe. And if I were to tithe, I wouldn't have enough to pay the mortgage.
That week, when Laura tithed at her church, God took care of her.
I get home that Sunday, and here's all these messages on my answering machine from people who wanted me to come do drywall or house cleaning or whatever. All this work on my answering machine.
Laura made enough to pay her mortgage that week. A few days later, her car payment was due. And again, she trusted God.
Then that Sunday, there was more phone calls on the answering machine of people wanting me to come.
Laura says as she remained faithful in her giving, the work kept coming in. She had already started paying off her credit card debt when she married Mark, a successful auto mechanic. Laura and Mark continued paying off her debt and joined the 700 Club.
I just trust them. They can prove what the money is doing. They're investing it into these little children's lives, and that they're growing up now in school, getting an education, well-dressed, have shoes on their feet and food in their stomachs.
Laura's business continued to do well, and she and Mark are now debt-free. She says it's all because of their faithfulness in giving.
God is good on his promises. When he says, what you sow, you will reap, he does not lie about that. He keeps his promises to those who love him.